What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So I saw a video, and in this video, this guy Teofimo Lopez is talking, and yeah, man, I was in the Mayweather gym. I'm in the, get a good workout in the Mayweather gym. He's talking about how he was fired by Turki Sheik. His ego kicks in, his stupidity kicks in. Where I tell you, this guy has gone on as if he's done nothing wrong. He don't understand why he offended people that he offended. You see, but this is where, once again, Floyd Mayweather even allowing this racist piece of shit to use his gym. Well, this is why I tell you guys, man, all the time, I'm nobody's fucking fan, and like I said, I can appreciate a certain skill set or, just a certain level of entertainment or whatever, things of that nature, but I'm nobody's fucking fan. And the fact of the matter is, if Turki Sheik could say, nah, man, I'm not doing business with this guy. He's bad for boxing. Well, you need to see that same thing in Ryan as well. But this is my point. Floyd is opening the doors for Teofimo to come in, right? Oh, it's just business. It's not personal, blah, blah, blah. We all human. We all make mistakes. Yeah, nah, bullshit. A mistake is something you didn't mean to do. You don't deliberately do racist shit and then, oh, it was a mistake. No, it was, and then tell I'm done with that racist shit. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you denied it, but then you end up saying, I'm done with all of that racist. Oh, so what are you denying? So the dude's a fucking liar. And fucking Floyd, he looks like a fucking clown right now for even allowing this motherfucker to come in his gym. And why do you think he's making it known he was in Mayweather's gym? Like, yeah. See, one of y'all still accept me. They know what's up. Y'all, but anyways, yeah, he got kicked out. Good for him. For the record, I was at a facility the other day, and there was a meeting taking place, and this person rounded the workers up and said, listen, he said, make this clear. I want to make this crystal clear. He said, I never give anybody any shit. He said, usually, everybody just work, do what they have to do. He said, when I come out here, I expect grown men and women to be doing what they're supposed to, whether I'm in the building or not. He said, so when I come out here, he said, don't try to glaze me and Mr. this, Mr. that. But then he said, I do not put up with racism. He said, if anybody has a problem with me not putting up with racism, because if I find out that anybody in here is using racial slurs and discriminating against people, if I find out, he said, you're gone, you're done. And if anybody has a problem with that, leave right now. Anybody. He says, and we're not going to play stupid. He says, in all honesty, this N-word has been floating around. I've been getting word about certain people trying to use their authority, trying to put people in fear, and we have lost several good workers because of your behavior. And I've reached out and rehired several different people. He said, and there's people that is going to be dealt with. Some of you already know who you are. He said, and we're not putting up with this. He said, I don't give a damn about this DEI nonsense or whatever. He says, we are not here to discriminate against anyone. He says, bottom line, if you wasn't raised right and you feel like you want to walk around and call, he said, and that's what's being said. He said, that's what's being said. He said, I don't want anybody to walk around here thinking that, oh, if I say something, I'm going to lose my job, because he said, and it's just a disgusting gesture for anybody to make, that it's okay to walk around here calling people racial slurs. But he said, we're not dealing with that. And bottom line, he put his foot down. This is something that a lot of other people won't do. Well, people got the freedom to speak. Nah, and I told you guys before, it's fascinating to me how the only time you hear people talk about the freedom of speech is when they want the right to be assholes, to be disrespectful, to show no fucking class, and to say a bunch of racist nonsense, right? So, yeah, Turki did what he was supposed to do. Steel City, your game undisputed, it's lacking. So you ban Ryan Garcia, but you bring him back, hoping it will boost your sales. Desperate. Floyd allowing Teofimo to use his facility. Clown shit, man. Clown shit. Bottom line, clown shit. Like your black ass ain't black too. Like he's not talking about you too. Or he's just trolling, that's the excuse. Fuck Teofimo. Turkey should have fired his dumbass. Simple. Why don't you go to a Latino gym? Why don't you go make money with nothing but Latino fighters? Why don't you go and make money? And I'm saying this, I have nothing against Latino people. And if you feel some type of way because you racist, fuck you anyway. I don't give a fuck who you are. But I'm saying, why don't you see? Everybody want to talk nigga this, nigga that. Everybody want to talk bullshit, but everybody want to make black money with the black man. Everybody want to make money off black people. You know, black versus brown, that sells. Yeah. So you want to pull a race card and then say I'm done with all that after denying that you didn't say anything racist. So how are you done with something then? Stupid ass. So yeah, good he got fired. Another thing is Devin Haney. I saw a video. I don't remember the dude's name, but it's so funny how somebody can say something and show you a clip of something, but give you their take, and all of a sudden people start repeating it as if it's factual. Have you guys been hearing that the fight between Ramirez and Haney was fixed? And the guy shows a clip of when Haney backed into the ropes, and Al Ramirez threw a punch, Haney slipped, and then he says he misses on purpose. Ramirez misses on purpose. Then Ramirez allows Haney to hit him. The fight was fixed. It was fixed. And he's going on with this. It was fixed. It was fixed. It was fixed. And I'm just like, wow. Okay. Well, a couple people in this comment section knew that was BS. But we've gotten to a point where now I show you clips. I show you receipts. Proof of what I say. And I say what I'm saying because of what I've seen happen. And what I've heard, being said. Here's someone showing you clips, and your eyes are you're gonna sit here and actually go with the whole narrative that it was fixed because he purposely, bro, stop it, man, stop. I mean, we've seen Bruce Sullivan throw, Mike Tyson throw a punch that clearly went over his head, and he fell flat down, and that little fake stumble, he wanted to make sure that he didn't beat that 10 count. But Mike Tyson fans don't want to admit that shit, and you see it. Here's a situation where, Devin missed the punch. He turned into it. He didn't step. He turned off the shoulder. He turned, and the punch missed. And Ramirez punch missed, and then Devin threw one and landed. But let this guy tell it, the fight was fixed now. So I don't even know where people come up with what. It's like let's just make up some shit, some goofy shit, and people will gravitate towards it because that's just the way people roll, man. So let's just make stuff up because that's pretty much what happened. Last thing I want to talk about, I saw a post that Errol Spence put up, and basically he was put the post up, got the crazy braids in his hair, all over the place, whatever, and he's saying that he will return when he's ready. Now, I guess he's showing the post, the picture, just to show people that, look, I'm not fat and out of shape and overweight. I'm keeping my weight down. So it's obvious he's doing some type of training. Now, I didn't watch the video, but the thumbnail said that Derek James apologizes to Errol Spence. So my thing was, like I said, though, as far as Errol Spence saying, excuse me, he'll come back when he's ready, that's his call, nobody else's. This Coach Brennan was saying the same thing, that, man, and my biggest thing about Errol Spence is wanting to see him get right mentally and physically. So there's things that people know, I guess, closer to him that they don't need to talk about. We don't need to know all of that. I'm not thirsty to get a story out, man. Especially when I have to speculate, because, I don't want to do that. But yeah, your mental health, your mental state, everything, it all has to be there, man. All has to be there. And like I said, we don't know anything about who's training Errol Spence. We don't know anything about his methods of training, but you can see on the photo that, he's keeping his weight down, which is something that he was, we've seen him look fat. We've seen him with the pot belly. We've seen that version of him where he's like, damn, Errol, what are you doing? And let himself balloon up. And then that was one of his biggest problems, is trying to cut too much weight to make weight. Keep your weight down. Now, when he says he'll be back when he's ready, there's no reason for anybody to have any problem with that. To me, this is people that just have problems with themselves. That's his call, man. We've seen several fighters, come back too soon. We've seen several fighters take a long hiatus and come back and they still don't have it. They don't have it anymore. We've seen people take a long hiatus and come back and still look good. We don't know what category Errol's going to fall in. But yeah, I mean, for people to start, he need to come back immediately because this and because of that, and because it's like I said, man. How many times did the Fundora fight? It's on, then it's off, then it's on, then it's off. Then all of a sudden, Fundora's fighting Crawford. Then all of a sudden, he's rematching Tim Tszyu. Then all of a sudden, the fight's back on with Spence. Then all of a sudden, he's fighting Crawford again. Like all of this nonsense that goes back and forth, man. People, I'm telling you guys right now, these content creators are just making up nonsense. Because they know no matter how stupid of a comment that they make or topic that they come up with to just say things, they know you guys are going to watch. So even if half the comments is you guys saying, why are you making up lies, man? That's not true. You're going to watch. But all of these people, for the most part, their fan base believe in them. Their followers believe in what they say. And they're telling you guys garbage. So for this man to come out and tell you, hey, I'm coming back when I'm ready. What is it to talk about? What is it? What is it to try to make a negative, outcome about? We don't know what he has left in the tank. No, we don't. We do not know what Errol Spence is going to show up. We don't. But at the end of the day, if he comes back and looks like trash, it's still his choice if he decides to continue to fight. If he comes back and look good, right? Okay. Who he comes back against, and one thing about Errol Spence is he doesn't come back and do tune-ups. He always comes back and get in the ring with the top guy. So whoever and whenever, however it happens, it happens. There's no need to sit up and make up stories and make up a bunch of what-if scenarios just to make a video saying a bunch of nothing because the guy said when he's ready. But I'm saying all of this because I read so many stupid comments from that one post that it was just like, wow. So now we dictate people's lives and when they should or shouldn't. Now, based on a situation where someone is like Anthony Joshua, who doubts himself. We've seen him doubt himself at times. We've seen him go in the ring and it shows in his performance that he's not, really sure what he's supposed to be doing. We don't ever know if that Anthony Joshua is going to show up again, because we can't say that Anthony Joshua is buried. He's past that. We don't know that, because what I saw in there against Dubois was a guy who was looking like he wasn't sure about what he was supposed to do. And pretty much for me to sit here and say, yo, he need to get right back in the ring, I'll say this: if his confidence isn't the same, if he's not sure of himself, if his tactics are the same, and different opponents should bring, different tactics out of you as well, but what's the purpose? Just to get in there and get his brains beat out? Sometimes you need to just walk away. I'm just saying, right? Because if he goes in there and he gets his ass whooped because nothing's changed for the better, because I guarantee you, people that fight Anthony Joshua from now on, unless it's just not their style, they're going to try to put pressure on him and they think that's the way to get to him. Just go after him and try to knock him out. And if he has understood, if he understands the assignment and understand why he lost to Dubois and whatever, and you say he should be okay. But at the same time, you just don't know what's going on in the fighter's head. So you can assume all you want. But, man, if you're not really feeling something, if you're, especially boxing, man, if you're really not feeling something like you're all there, like you need to be, what are you jumping in the ring for? That's why, even like I said, even like if Usyk was to stick around for a third fight with this guy, right? If he was, if nothing's changed with Anthony Joshua, what would the purpose be for a third fight with Usyk? Just to get your ass kicked a third time. And you see the Anthony Joshua that we saw show up against Wallin and against what's his face, Ngannou, you see how people love to fucking make hypocrites out themselves. On one hand, Ngannou was the man because he dropped Tyson Fury. Yeah. And ain't no way motherfucking Anthony Joshua gonna beat Ngannou, right? Wasn't that what everybody was saying? In fact, Anthony Joshua was the underdog going into that fight. Now, when he beats him, oh, it wasn't no big deal. He beat a dude that only had 2 fights. Dumbass, he only had 1 fucking fight. He had no fights when he fought Fury. You see, but that's the route that people took. And then when he beat Wallin, oh, but they sparred before. So what? So what? People actually thought Wallin was going to outbox him and win. He showed you when he's focused, he's a bad motherfucker. The problem is, like I said, what Anthony Joshua is going to show up, I don't know. We don't know. So, to say, if I say he needs to get back in the ring to keep sharp, he needs to get back in the ring to keep himself active, yeah, that's what fighters do. And he himself has said he want to be more active. He know he needs to. But guess what? Anthony Joshua is at that point where it's all about big money fights. And you don't go backwards. You don't want to get there to fight just to fight. He needs to have an opponent that, hey, this is a top level guy. We're going to make some good money. That's where he is. It's no different from Canelo saying, I fight who I want, I do what I want, and I'm Mexican. It's no different from Terence Crawford saying, I'm at a point I can do whatever I want to do, and I don't care what nobody has to say or what they feel, fuck them. But it is different in the sense he's not cherry picking. So the fact of the matter is, man, AJ was never looking for an easy fight. But at the same time, what is different about you going forward? That's what people need to understand. See, having courage and the mindset to, I still want this, but your strategies, your skill set, what flaws you have, what have you corrected about yourself? That's what people are overlooking. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying about AJ and the fight game in general, because people don't seem to understand this. If I'm managing a fighter, I'm training a fighter, and that fighter is showing me that the flaws that caused this person to lose are still there, I'm going to tell that fighter, look, this is the fight game, you know this, and this is what you signed up for. But the progress that we need to see in you, we're not seeing it. If you want this fight, you're going to have to be better. Example, let's look at Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Would you tell Errol Spence to just take the fight and go in there again and just throw a Hail Mary and see if you get lucky? Or would you tell him he needs to be different? I told y'all he needed to be different before the first fight. Crawford was just going to have to be Crawford. But Errol Spence going back in there to jump in there to take an immediate rematch, you think, first of all, people saying, yo, he got heart. Yo, he got right back in. Okay, cool. But at the same time, if he goes back in there with the same game plan, what's the purpose? So I don't understand, other than Terence Crawford fans or people that just don't like Errol Spence, that just want to see him get his ass whooped again, they're the only ones saying that dumb shit. Because anybody that knows just a little bit, common sense, nah, man, you don't go back in there with the same fucking game plan. And you remember, he had no game, no plan B, no plan C, no plan D. I remember when I said what he should have been doing, he wasn't doing it properly. And he was allowing Terence Crawford to shut his shit down, because whenever Crawford landed anything, his immediate reaction was, I need to get that hit back. He was trying to play tit for tat instead of, being smart and boxing like he was supposed to. And if you think about that fight as well, when he was trying to jab, it was out of frustration. Did you see him trying to control the range? Did you see him trying to find him? No. This is the same guy that said, I can jab and box and move and all that, but that's boring to me. All right. Look at what happened. He needed to be able to do more to beat Crawford. No different from Deontay saying, what applies to other fighters don't apply to me. I got a blessing, the curse in the right hand. Now, when the right hand fails you, what do you have? Nothing. So, yeah, going back into an immediate rematch, Look, you know, people saw Shane do it and praised Shane for doing it because he jumped right back in there cool. And I respect the fact that Shane showed, man, I'm not scared. Fuck it, I lost, but I'm coming here to win. What was the problem with Shane though? Was he any better in the rematches? Vernon Forrest, a little bit. Winky Wright, a little bit. Yeah, he was better in the rematches, but not good enough. He doesn't have that type of mindset to adjust to like everything that you're doing. He's not one of those fighters. Certain styles, like boxers, always gave Shane a problem. Always. So you look and say, well, how did Shane prepare for these fights? Was it just stuff he wasn't doing on his own, or he just wasn't listening? Like, what was going on? Because at some point, like AJ Wilder, these dudes are too old and been boxing too long to have to keep resetting, man. You can only reset so many times. You know what I'm saying? You're at a position now. There's no fucking way Wilder should be fighting nobody ranked 285 in the world. It's a fucking joke. So we know what it is. He needs a spectacular knockout, and then let's just make up a reason to throw him back in the mix and try to get him in a fight that means something. Whether they're trying to work versus AJ, I don't know what they're trying to do. You know, as far as that, like who the opponent is, but we know what they're trying to do as far as why he's fighting this. And when I say they, I don't know what he's worked out, but he said he had a multi-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh, right? And now he's fighting the guy ranked 285 with BLK Prime. So we know Turki has nothing to do with this shit. Why are you fighting someone ranked 285? This fight's a fucking joke. But he knows he can't afford another loss. See, this is where these fight fans be running their mouth, and these podcasters and these YouTube channels that want to talk like they know so fucking much by talking about trying to make excuses for a fighter, or they try to put him in a position they're not ready for. You need to know what you're capable of doing before you get in that ring. Problem is, ego make a lot of people overlook the things that they shouldn't overlook, and that's why you take nothing for granted. Plain and simple. So Errol Spence, no different. His return will be on his terms. When and against who, we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys now. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video.